Welcome to Furniture Industry News, your go-to source for staying current on what's happening in our industry. I'm here with you on Friday, May 30th, 2025, bringing you the essential updates that matter to furniture professionals like you. Let's start with some encouraging news from the Memorial Day weekend that just wrapped up. Early reports from retailers across the United States are showing mostly positive reviews for Memorial Day sales performance. This is particularly significant because Memorial Day has traditionally been one of the key promotional periods for our industry, marking the unofficial start of summer and outdoor furniture season. Retailers are reporting solid traffic and conversion rates, which is a welcome sign after what's been a challenging period for many in the home furnishings sector. The positive Memorial Day performance comes at a crucial time, especially when we consider the broader economic headwinds that continue to impact our industry. Speaking of which, let's dive into the ongoing tariff situation that's been creating uncertainty for months now. There's been significant legal drama around President Trump's tariff policies this week that directly affects our industry. On Wednesday, the Court of International Trade ruled that Trump had exceeded his authority in imposing sweeping tariffs under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The court immediately blocked these tariffs, which sent shockwaves through import-dependent sectors like ours. However, the story didn't end there. Just a day later, a federal appeals court temporarily reinstated the most sweeping of President Donald Trump's tariffs on Thursday, a day after a U.S. trade court ruled that Trump had exceeded his authority in imposing the duties and ordered an immediate block on them. This legal ping-pong effect is creating enormous uncertainty for furniture manufacturers and retailers who depend on imported goods and materials. The implications of this tariff uncertainty extend beyond just our borders. The International Monetary Fund has released forecasts showing lower global growth specifically because of these tariff policies. For an industry that relies heavily on international supply chains and global manufacturing, this kind of economic dampening effect ripples through everything from raw material costs to consumer spending power. Adding to the supply chain complexity, we're seeing significant changes in shipping rates that are affecting furniture logistics. Container rates between Shanghai and Los Angeles have jumped 17% as traffic increases due to China tariff easing efforts. This rate volatility makes it incredibly difficult for furniture companies to budget accurately for their import costs, and ultimately these fluctuations get passed along to consumers in the form of price adjustments. Now, let's shift our focus to the housing market, which is fundamental to our industry's health. The National Association of Realtors reported that pending home sales dropped in April, and they're attributing this decline entirely to mortgage rates. When mortgage rates climb, it creates a domino effect that impacts furniture sales in several ways. First, fewer people are buying homes, which means fewer customers in the market for new furniture. Second, existing homeowners become more cautious about discretionary spending when they're watching their home equity fluctuate with interest rate changes. This housing market softness is particularly challenging for furniture retailers who have been counting on pent-up demand from the pandemic era to sustain sales growth. The reality is that furniture purchases are closely tied to major life changes, and home purchases represent the biggest driver of furniture sales for most retailers. Let's talk about some sector-specific challenges, starting with the mattress industry. There's growing concern about what industry experts are calling the race to the bottom in mattress sales. This phenomenon involves retailers competing primarily on price, which erodes margins across the board and makes it difficult for companies to invest in quality improvements or customer service enhancements. The challenge for mattress retailers is finding ways to differentiate themselves beyond just price competition. This race to the bottom isn't unique to mattresses, but it's particularly acute in that sector because mattresses are often viewed as commoditized products by consumers. The successful retailers are those finding ways to create value through service, expertise, or unique product offerings, rather than simply trying to undercut competitors on price. On the logistics front, there's some positive news with J.B. Hunt launching an intermodal program that's specifically designed to connect with Mexican businesses. This development could provide furniture companies with new supply chain options and potentially more cost-effective ways to move products between Mexico and the United States. Given the ongoing focus on nearshoring and reducing dependence on Asian manufacturing, these kinds of North American logistics solutions are becoming increasingly valuable. However, the retail landscape continues to present challenges, and we're seeing some significant distress in the home goods sector. At Home Group Incorporated, a home decor retailer headquartered in Texas, is reportedly preparing to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in the coming weeks as it works to strengthen its liquidity. At Home operates over 260 stores across the United States, making this a significant development for the home decor and furniture accessories market. The at-home situation is particularly noteworthy because it demonstrates how even large-scale retailers with extensive footprints can struggle with liquidity issues in the current environment. The company is owned by private equity firm Hellman & Friedman, which typically indicates access to capital resources, yet they're still facing financial distress. This suggests that the challenges facing home goods retailers go beyond just access to capital and reflect deeper structural issues with consumer demand and operating costs. The ripple effects of a major retailer like At Home potentially filing for bankruptcy extend throughout the supply chain. Vendors who supply At Home with products face the risk of unpaid invoices, and the sudden closure of stores could flood certain markets with liquidation inventory, depressing prices for competitors in those areas. Speaking of retail consolidation, there are reports that variety wholesalers might expand their presence by taking over locations from a revamped Big Lots chain. This kind of retail musical chairs is becoming increasingly common as companies struggle to find the right format and footprint for today's consumer behavior. For furniture manufacturers, these changes in retail partnerships require constant adaptation in terms of product mix, pricing strategies, and distribution relationships. The Big Lots situation is particularly relevant because they've been a significant player in the value furniture segment. Any major changes to their operations could create opportunities for other retailers to capture market share, but it also represents lost shelf space for manufacturers who have been supplying Big Lots locations. Throughout all of these challenges, the common thread is the need for adaptability. Whether it's navigating tariff uncertainty, adjusting to housing market fluctuations, or dealing with retail partner changes, success in today's furniture industry requires unprecedented flexibility and strategic thinking. The companies that are thriving in this environment are those that have diversified their supply chains, maintained strong cash positions, and developed multiple channels to market. They're also investing in understanding changing consumer preferences, particularly as younger demographics enter the home buying market with different expectations about shopping experiences and product features. As we wrap up today's episode, it's clear that while there are significant challenges facing our industry, there are also opportunities for companies that can navigate this complex landscape effectively. The positive Memorial Day results suggest that consumer demand for home furnishings remains resilient, even as broader economic factors create headwinds. That's all for today's furniture industry news. If you found this episode valuable, please subscribe to stay current on all the developments that matter to your business in the furniture industry. Until next time, stay informed and stay competitive.